Welcome. In this video, I'll be demonstrating red team operations on Newsportal website as well as web application. So to begin with, this is my own web application which I have built long back ago, and I am doing red team operations or pen testing on my own web application. You cannot find this anywhere on Hack the Box or OneHub or any of those websites. So, but I'll be soon releasing this website on either Hack the Box or onehub.com. So, Passion Coder 5 is my particular GitHub repository name, GitHub name, which I've given. So let me try site colon github.com. I just need to find that repository where news portal is, where the code of news portal is there. Even if you find the repository, we need a lot of Docker as well as a lot of conversion to .oa file. So it took me a day to perform, like convert this code into deployable .oa file. So let me search my name. So I cannot find it. So okay, and this website is vulnerable to a lot of vulnerabilities, and I have made a detailed documentation of this as well. But I'll be demonstrating how to do pen testing on this particular machine. So it's a Linux based machine. So I found the particular repository. So let me go to that GitHub repository. So this is another project. So let's look for repositories. Let me maximize that, and let's look for repositories. And I don't find it. So I'm looking for the particular repository. It's this yet another vulnerable web application. So github.com/passioncoder5, and it is yet another vulnerable web application. So I'm the author of this, and so this is how to deploy locally, and I have deployed using .oha file. So which is there locally in my machine, and it's not available to the public yet. So just understand how to do penetration testing on this. So this was the project which I built during my college days, and now I'm hacking that. So you can find this .oa file in the documents. So yeah, this is how to set it up. Let me close that and close this and close this as well. And let's do an nmap scan first to discover what is the IP address of the particular news portal machine. So let's start with nmap. Let's start with if config. So let's see what is our IP. So this is ETH0, ETH1, and let's look for double LAN 0, and we find 172.20.10.13, and we find the net mask as well. It looks like 15 is missing, so it's 8421 is missing, so 28 is the net mask and subnet mask, and dash sn 172.20.10.0/28, T5 for the timing template of insane, and dash sn for no port scan. And we find gateway. We find two IP address. One is three IP address. One is mine, and the rest two is something else. So let's copy this and let's see what. what website it's up and what is not a website. So let me open the browser and yeah, let's paste the particular IP. So unable to connect. So let's open 172.20.10.3. Let's close this and let's open up Chromium and let's paste this 172.20.10.3 and we have a Apache 2 default page. So 2010.3 is our particular machine. So let's run nmap scans on this. Right, this was the host discovery part which I ran. And now let's do a network discovery, right? Dash p dash double dash open min rate dash on and 172.20.10.13 and we find two ports which is port 80 as well as port 2222 and we will do further enumeration and we'll do a syn scan with the service version scan on port let's change the IP first which is 172.20.10.3 and let's change the port as well 2222 and let's hit enter. So there you go. So we have the service version, service as well as its version. So it's Apache HTTPD as well as OpenSSH server. So now what we can do is we can visit the website, right? So open up Chromium and visit the website, and we get default Apache 2 default page. And what we can do is we can do a go buster on this. We can do a directory brute force. So run go buster with 172.20.10.3 and basically what I'm doing is I'm doing a directory brute forcing. So this is the word list and extension as well as threads. So I'm doing a go buster directory or directory brute forcing and dash u option to specify the target URL and dash w option which is user share for the word list which is user share checklist discovery web content wrapped large directory slower.txt and dash x php for the extension of php and the threads of 50 and let's hit enter. So now all these directories will be brute force and it will look for 200 response or 301 response redirection or success response and it will give us the directories. So I think we found one directory. So let's give another extension which is Vapalizer. So let me search for that extension. So let me search for that extension called Vapalizer. You can also use built with. So let's search Vapalizer and we do not find anything. Let's cut this and let's paste it. Vapalizer Chromium extension. So basically, Vapalizer will say will tell all the technologies which we use in a particular website. So we have a lot of links, and we need to find which is the Chromium extension. So let's click the first one, and let's add this extension. Let's go back. Let's add. Let me maximize that and add the extension. So add extension. No thanks. and the extension is downloaded. Let me click on that, and let's wait for some time. So extension is added, and now what we can do is so let's visit news portal. So if we click on Vapalizer, so nothing spins up. But if we visit news portal, so it found one of the particular subdirectory, which is news portal, and let's copy that and let's paste it slash news portal. So we find this website and see as you can see here, we have found Apache as well as Ubuntu as the OS and the particular web server as well. So this is how to install extensions and run them. So now let's try to register using register.php. So let me give the first name. So let's give the first name as hacker and the last name as not ethical. I'm just kidding. Always take permission when you do pen testing or red teaming. So let's do the last name as ethical and let's give the email as yaru@gmail.com. At gmail.com, and let's give the password as aru at 123 and let's register. So successfully registered. Now you can log in. So let's give the email as aru at gmail.com and let's give the password as aru at 123. Let me type that correctly and let's log in. So it's basically a news portal website where the images are not loaded because you cannot find the images in the particular directory. So we'll see, you can see all of this news blogs. We can go to these categories and we can see these categories as well. And you can find all kind of blogs here. So this is a news blog CMS. So we have a search functionality. So let's do a single quotes and let's see what will happen. So let's do single quotes and we do not find any particular post. So if we type in A or admin, we will find posts, but single quotes we do not find any. That means this might be vulnerable to a particular blind based injection. So let me intercept this traffic in burp. So burp is a kind of let me on Foxy proxy burp proxy and let me start this. So as I was saying, burp is a tool which does man in the middle attack between your web browser as well as your web server. So it intercepts the network traffic or the HTTP traffic between your web browser as well as the server, and we can modify the data, and this leads to kind of MITM in the application layer. So let's on switch on the proxy and let's go to proxy tab and let me type in admin, or better let me type something which is more more searchable. So let me type in search itself and let me copy this. So let me send it to repeater and let's go to repeater tab and let's copy this particular request and Let's do nano request.txt or req.txt, and let's paste this. So this particular text parameter is vulnerable, and because this text parameter is vulnerable, we can specify dash p as the parameter which is vulnerable and give text as the particular option value. So what I'm doing is I'm running a scale map on this with specifying the file with dash r option, and this file is request.txt, and dash p for the parameter which is vulnerable, and I specify text and double dash batch so that I'm not prompted every time, and level 5 and risk 3 because we need to increase levels and risks so that we run every kind of test on the particular request.txt so that it finds all the vulnerabilities. So it found the three kinds of injection, so which is boolean based blind and time based blind as well as union query. And let's copy this, let's paste it, and you can see that no post appears, so that is boolean based blind. And we can also see that it has these two kinds of injection as well. Now what we can do is we can enumerate for databases once we have found the vulnerability, and now we got the database called Newsportal. So we specify dash d as Newsportal and do double dash tables. So we do double dash tables and we hit enter. So we found one of the table called admin. User also looks promising, but we do not need a user privilege because we can register in the application itself. So let's do dash d admin, and let's dump everything on the particular admin. So this will start if it has hashed passwords, if it has base64 encoded passwords, or any of the you know SHA-1 hashed passwords or MD5 hashed passwords. It will try to crack that, and we found a bunch of passwords as well as usernames. So that is admin email as well as admin password. Let's log out of this and let's do admin login. So we have an admin login page as well. So that is why it is important to do reconnaissance really well. You need to click around a particular uh, website and look for all possible injection points, and we log in as admin with the credentials we found using SQL map. And let's do add news. So let's oh, there is a file upload here, so we can upload, we'll try to upload a few PHP shells, and let's see what will happen. So let's type in the title. Let's do delete this later. That's the title, and give some random description and select the date, and let's select the category as let's have the category as sports, and let's select this as well. So this was a really old website which I had built, and it's not relevant these days to build the CMS like this. So your connection is not private. You know that happens when I am only the man. I am only doing man in the middle attack. So we need to open up another browser, and let's search for. So let's search for a particular revshells.com, and let's do ifconfig to see what is our IP. So it's 172.20.10.13. Let's copy this, and let's give the port as 4444, and let's search for PHP shells. So here you can select which shell you need, so PHP, and let's do pentest monkey, and let's copy that. So let's create a file called shell.php, or let's create a file called welcome page.php, right? That's more relevant. So let's do welcome underscore page dot php, and let's paste this. Let's save it, and let's copy this, and let's choose the file. So we'll go to that particular directory which has the file. So it's Newsportal, and let's do welcome underscore page dot php, and let's save this, and you'll get a notification that news has been added. So now what you do is we'll start a netcat listener. Before that, we'll disable our firewall. So this is the firewall which I have running. So let's disable this. So never disable your firewall in your particular machine which you're using, but this I'm doing it for demonstration purpose. So I can disable that, and let's do nc-nlvp 4444, and I've started my netcat listener. So let's copy this, and let's go to new tab, paste it. Let me converge this to the browser, and let's do logout. So let's do logout, and now let's type the particular gmail.com, aru@gmail.com, and let's do aru at 123. So now let's visit the particular post which we have added. So it's in the sports section, and let's hit sports, and we'll get this particular shell back. We'll get this connection back, and we have a shell. So now let's try to upgrade this shell. So let's do script dash qc. So script dash qc slash bin slash bash, and let's do slash dev slash null, and we do control Z, and we do stdy raw hyphen echo for ground, and we do reset, and we do terminal type as screen, and let's do export term is equal to xterm, and we have up down clear screen all the functionalities. Now we have got the shell, a stable shell, as we have upgraded it, and we do sudo dash l, and we find user bin find, and let's do find slash dash name, not dash name. We do dash user root dash type file, and dash permissions, which dash perm dash 4000, so that we get the SUID binaries, and two greater than slash dev slash null. So this is a particular um, command to get SUID binaries, and we get all these standard binaries which are there in the Linux shell, fastability, ch, new group, all this, and we'll copy this. So we'll copy find, and we'll search it in GDFO bins, right? So now let's go to GDFO bins. So this is where the exploits, privilege escalation exploits are there. So previously we had searched for Python, so we don't need Python. So let's go to this. So we hit a 404, and let's go to gtfobins.org, and let's do control F, and let's do find, and let's hit find, and click on shell, and we copy this sudo misconfiguration, and let's run this as sudo and the exploit, and we get a shell. So let's do ID, who am I, and let's do host name, uname dash r, or yes, we get a root shell, and we have root as the user, and host name is this, and we get Linux as the operating system. So let's do cat root.txt, and let's do now let's try to upgrade this shell, right? So let's try to script dash qc slash bin slash bash and slash dev slash null. So after that, you do Control Z and you do stty raw hyphen echo semicolon foreground, and we do reset export, and we do screen, and we do export term is equal to xterm, and we do ls. We got a stable root shell as well. So let's go to home directory, and let's do present working directory, and let's do ls, and let's do ls-ail. We don't find the .ssh folder, so we can do another persistence method, which is creating a local user account and elevating his privileges. So let's do user add dash m to create the home directory, dash s to specify the shell. We specify the shell as bin slash bash, and we give the name of the user called ftp. So we need to give like services which are running, or the standard services, so that we are not detected. And let's do user mod dash add to group dash ag and sudo, and or we add it to the root user, and we do ftp. Not, we don't add it to the root user, we add it to the root group. And let's do sudo as well. So we add it to the list of sudoers. Now what we do is we do passability ftp to change the password of the ftp user. We type password as new password and type the password again. So now let's test whether this has worked or not. So let's do SSH FTP at 172.20.10.3, and let's hit enter. So, oh yeah, we have to specify the port 2222 because it's not using the standard 22 port, and fingerprint yes, and type the password as password, and we're logged in as FTP. So let's try to do sudo dash l. Now how to gain root privilege, root access is we do sudo dash l, and we type in the password for FTP, and we get all, and so this is a misconfiguration in itself. So let's do sudo su to get the root access, and we are root. So let's go to methodology.txt. So I'll be explaining what I did till now and how I got gained access till persistence. So persistence, I use a different method. So what I used was so I added another user called FTP. So I created a user called high privileged user called FTP. So let's view from the top. So this portal is a CMS built by me. So in the reconnaissance phase, we did nmap scans, which we found 4080 as well as 2222, and then we visited HTTP site, found default web page, and we did a go buster, revealed Newsportal website, and registered as a basic user and logged in. Then we found a SQL injection in one of the web page search functionality, and we got the admin creds using SQL map. and we logged in as admin. And in the add news functionality, we found a file upload unrestricted file upload vulnerability, and we uploaded the shell, and our netcat listener caught the shell, and we upgraded the shell. So for the privilege escalation, we have used sudo misconfiguration in the find binary to get root shell using GTF of Ben's website. And for the persistence, we added a user called FTP, and we gained persistence. So this was what we did till now. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.